I lived like Elon Musk for a week, and let me tell you, it almost broke me, physically, mentally, and emotionally. This wasn't just a challenge. It was a full-on experiment in pushing my limits. Have you ever wondered what it really takes to be Elon Musk? Not just the headlines or the memes, but the actual day-to-day grind of the world's busiest man. This is the guy building rockets at SpaceX, revolutionizing cars at Tesla, and dreaming up brain-computer interfaces at Neuralink, all at the same time. His life is a whirlwind of innovation and chaos. I'm obsessed with productivity hacks, so I thought, why not try his famously intense daily routine for a whole week? Could I survive it? Could I thrive? I printed out his schedule, stocked up on his favorite snacks, and told my team, for the next week, I am Elon. They laughed, thinking I was joking. But I was dead serious. I wanted to see if I could keep up. The plan was simple on paper. Wake up at 7 a.m., take a quick shower, and dive straight into work. No time wasted, no snooze button allowed, no breakfast, no distractions, just pure, unfiltered hustle from the moment I opened my eyes. Musk skips breakfast, so I skipped breakfast. Just coffee and sheer willpower to get me through the morning. He works 80 to 100 hours a week, so I tried to match that. That meant long days, late nights, and barely any breaks. My life became a blur of tasks and deadlines. I wanted to see if this lifestyle would unlock some hidden productivity superpower in me, or if I'd just end up completely burnt out. I've done wild challenges before. Buried alive, 24 hours in an ice bath, even counting to 100,000. I thought I was ready for anything. So honestly, how hard could this be? I figured if anyone could handle it, it'd be me. But I quickly learned that managing your brain's energy is a whole different beast. It's not just about working more. It's about working smarter and knowing when you're about to hit a wall. It's not about physical endurance. It's mental warfare. Every hour felt like a battle between focus and fatigue. This is my story of a week inside the mind and the madness of Elon Musk. I wanted to see what it really takes to live like a visionary. It was a week of struggle, a few laughs, and lessons I never expected. I came out the other side with a new respect for what it means to push yourself to the limit. Let's dive in. Day one started with a burst of energy. I was determined to follow the plan to the letter, convinced that this new routine would unlock a whole new level of productivity. The excitement of a fresh start made everything feel possible. My alarm went off at 7 a.m., sharp and insistent, pulling me out of sleep. I didn't hit snooze, not even once. This was going to be different. I jumped out of bed, showered, and sat at my desk, feeling like I was already ahead of the game. The morning light felt like a spotlight on my new resolve. The first rule, tackled the most critical work first. No distractions, no procrastination, just pure focus. For me, that meant reviewing our next big video project. I wanted to set the tone for the week by diving straight into the deep end. No easing in, no emails, no snacks, just straight to work. I even put my phone on airplane mode, determined to avoid any temptation. I felt powerful, for about an hour. My focus was razor sharp, and I was convinced I could keep this up all day. But then, the no breakfast rule hit hard. My stomach was a constant distraction, growling louder with every passing minute. Concentration started to slip. By lunch, I inhaled a sad salad at my desk during a meeting. Elon style. It was efficient, but not exactly satisfying. I barely tasted it. The afternoon was a blur of 5-minute time blocks, emails, thumbnails, calls. It was intense, and I felt like I was always racing the clock. Real life doesn't fit into 5-minute boxes. Tasks overlapped, interruptions popped up, and my to-do list kept growing. One email could take 10 minutes, sometimes more. The pressure to move faster only made me more anxious. By the end of the day, I was mentally exhausted. My brain felt like it had run a marathon, and my motivation was fading. I'd checked off a lot, but didn't feel accomplished, just drained. The satisfaction I expected never came. I went to bed at 1 a.m., dreading the next day. My mind was racing, replaying everything I still hadn't finished. Day one was a reality check. The gap between the plan and reality was bigger than I'd imagined. This was going to be way harder than I thought. The week ahead suddenly felt a lot longer. The grind had just begun. I knew I'd have to dig deep if I wanted to keep going. Could I keep this up? Let's find out. The real test was only just beginning. Tuesday, I woke up feeling like a zombie. My body was heavy, my mind foggy, and I could barely remember what day it was. The weight of the experiment already pressed down on me, and I hadn't even left my bed yet. The 7 a.m. alarm was brutal. It felt like a siren blaring in my skull. dragging me out of a dream I desperately wanted to stay in. Determined to master the 5-minute time block, I color-coded my entire day, every task, even bathroom breaks. My planner looked like a rainbow exploded on the page, each color a tiny slice of my life, scheduled down to the minute. The timer ruled my life. Beep, switch tasks, beep, new project. It was chaos. Every 5 minutes my focus was shattered, and I was yanked into something new before I could even get comfortable. I'd just get into a flow, then have to stop and switch. It killed my focus. The constant interruptions made even simple tasks feel impossible, and my frustration grew with every passing hour. My team noticed. I was robotic, cutting people off in meetings. Chris asked if I was okay. I could see the confusion and concern on their faces as I rushed through conversations, always glancing at the clock. I tried to explain, but it sounded insane. How do you justify living your life in 5-minute chunks? No one seemed to get it, and honestly, I wasn't sure I did either. Creativity doesn't fit in 5-minute boxes. You can't schedule breakthroughs, ideas need space to breathe, and inspiration doesn't care about your timer. By the end of day 2, I was miserable. I'd touched 20 projects, finished none. My desk was a graveyard of half-finished ideas and abandoned to-do lists. The time-blocking method was a disaster for my creative process. Instead of feeling productive, I felt defeated, like I was failing at everything all at once. Maybe it works for a CEO juggling departments, but for deep creative work? Total nightmare. My brain just couldn't keep up with the constant gear shifting. I felt like I was sprinting all day but going nowhere. Every task was a blur, and nothing felt truly accomplished. Was this experiment a huge mistake? I started to wonder if I'd bitten off more than I could chew, and if I'd ever find a system that actually worked for me. Tomorrow had to be different. I needed a new approach, one that didn't leave me feeling drained and defeated before the day even began. Wednesday, I hit the wall. I woke up seriously considered quitting. My brain was fried. No sleep, little food, constant gear shifting. My color-coded spreadsheet now looked like a prison sentence. During a big planning session, my brain just refused to cooperate. I was irritable, snappy, and the fun was gone. The passion that drives me was crushed by this rigid schedule. I tried to power through with Diet Coke, Elon's favorite, but just got jittery and anxious. I realized productivity isn't just about time, it's about energy. And mine was gone. I had to adapt. I couldn't quit, but I couldn't keep going like this. I decided to keep the core principles, early wake up, focus on critical tasks, but ditch the strict 5-minute blocks. It was time for Elon's routine, Mr. Beast style. I needed to make this work for me. The experiment wasn't over yet. Tomorrow I'd try a new approach. Thursday was a turning point. I woke up with a new plan: theme blocking. Instead of 5-minute chaos, I dedicated big chunks of time to one theme, like creative development in the morning, business in the afternoon. Instantly, things felt manageable. My brain could finally dive deep. In our creative block, my team and I brainstormed freely and came up with an amazing video idea. The spark was back. We were laughing, building ideas, having fun. I still kept some Elon rules: quick lunch, focus on important emails, first principles thinking. These helped me prioritize and simplify problems. By the end of day 4, I'd found a rhythm. I was focused, productive, and not miserable. The lesson: you can't copy-paste someone else's life. You have to adapt the principles to fit you. I went to bed tired but satisfied. For the first time all week, I felt like myself again. The experiment was finally working. On to Friday. Friday, I finally hit my stride. Woke up refreshed, theme blocking in full effect. The morning was all about filming. I was present, focused, and the crew noticed. I started making faster decisions. No more agonizing over tiny details. It was freeing. My productivity soared. I had more brain space for the big picture. But the social side of my life took a hit. Friends wanted to hang out, but I was still in Elon mode. Work came first. I missed the downtime, the jokes, the simple fun. As I wrapped up work late Friday, I felt proud but also lonely. Productivity was up, but I felt disconnected. It was a stark reminder. Success is great, but balance matters. You can't sacrifice everything for work. The week was almost over, but the lessons were just beginning. Would the weekend bring relief or more grind? Let's see. On to the weekend. For Elon, weekends don't exist. So, Saturday 7 a.m. alarm, no break. This was the hardest part. I'm used to recharging on weekends, but now it was all about the grind. I spent Saturday on long-term strategy, planning the next 6 months of videos. It was productive. But by Sunday, burnout hit. I stared out the window, watching people enjoy their day. I felt like I was missing out. This 24/7 work culture isn't for me. Sunday night, the challenge ended. Relief washed over me. I celebrated with pizza and a movie with friends. It felt amazing. The intense focus was admirable, but it came at a cost: balance, spontaneity, connection. The week was a roller coaster: excitement, misery, adaptation. I learned I can be more productive, but happiness is about more than work. The real challenge was mental, not physical. Would I do it again? Not exactly. But I'd take the lessons with me. So was it worth it? Before this, my work style was organized chaos. Jumping between tasks, getting distracted, energy all over the place. After a week of Elon's routine, my approach changed. Now, I block out my days into themes: creative, business, filming. My productivity shot up. I'm more focused, less stressed, and getting more important stuff done. The system stuck with me. But the negatives were real. The toll on my well-being and relationships. No breakfast, little sleep, no social life. Not sustainable. I need fuel, rest, and time with friends to stay creative. The hardcore Elon routine made me feel like a machine. That's not who I want to be. The biggest lesson: balance. Take the principles, but don't lose yourself. Was it worth it? Absolutely, for the lessons. I learned how to prioritize, make decisions, and structure my day. But most importantly, I learned to be a high performer and still be me. So what's my verdict on Elon Musk's routine? It's a powerful toolkit, but not one size fits all. The core principles: early wake up, critical tasks first, decisiveness, time blocking, are gold. But the extremes: 5-minute blocks, no sleep, no social life, not for me. True success comes from passion and energy, not running on empty. My advice: steal the principles, build your own system. Don't try to be Elon Musk. Be you, but more focused and efficient. Experiment, adapt, and find what works for your life. Would you try a challenge like this? Let me know in the comments. And whose routine should I try next? Drop your ideas below. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.